In this video, I'm going to show you how to alter the default location of where Oswatcher stores its data. Now, Oswatcher stores its data by default in a directory named archive under where Oswatcher is installed, and this has been the way it's worked since version 5. Starting in version 5, you had the ability to alter this location to any other location by the use of a Unix environment variable. And here we can see this Unix environment variable oswbb underscore archive underscore dest. If that was set, then when Oswatcher ran and stored the data, it would, instead of storing it in the default location, it would store it in the location specified by this Unix environment variable. Now in version 6, I've given you a couple other options with respect to this. So if we look at the start file now, we can see there's been a few changes here. We can see, for example, that in addition to having the first couple parameters that we always specify, which was the snapshot interval in seconds and the number of hours of archive data to store, you've always had this third variable too, which is optional, the ability to zip or compress the files as they're being created. None of this has changed, but what you have here in version 6 is the addition of this fourth parameter, which allows you to specify the fully qualified path name of any archive directory where you want oswbb to store the data. So now you can do it from the startup script and do not have to use the environment variable. So let's see how we would do that. Okay, the first thing we have to do is make sure that this directory exists. So I'm just going to go out and create a directory in the temp directory just for demonstration purposes here. So in the temp directory, I'll make a directory called archive. Okay, so now we'll start Oswatcher and point the archive directory to this new location by use of these parameters on startup. So okay, maybe I'll want to zip this at the same time these logs are being created by the use of the third parameter, or maybe I won't. If you don't want to do any compression, you can say none, and then specify the fourth parameter to point to the new location of the archive, which in our case will be /temp/archive. Okay, and let's let it run. Okay, we're collecting data. We can see the data is being stored in this location, which is not the default location, but is the location that we just pointed to when we started the file up, started Oswatcher black box up. So there should be data in this archive directory. So let's cd into archive. You can see all these directories that got created. And we can see that we've got data here. So that's all we have to do if we want to change the location of where we store the data that Oswatcher collects.